final weekend of the Championship season. I'm here at Ashton Gate for this afternoon's game between Bristol City and Brentford, as Brentford look to secure that third place in the Championship table ahead of the next few weeks, where they've got the Championship playoffs to look forward to and trying to get into the Premier League next season. But for Bristol City, it's just trying to end the season off on high after what has been a very miserable season. We're about half an hour away from kick-off. The Bristol City players are just coming out now. So let's go and speak to some other journalists and what their thoughts on this season and what their thoughts are on today's game. So I'm now joined by Jack from Bristol Live, and Jack, it's obviously been a very tough season for Bristol City this season. How would you overall review this season?
It's not been very good, has it? I think it's been a season of change. I think if there ever was to be a season of change, it would be this season with no fans and COVID. But I just think it started off so well, 4 wins from 4, but since then the form's atrocious. I think the worst team in the league over the last 30 games. If we didn't win those first 4 games, then it could be, well, I think League One would be the way. So it's been very disappointing. The players, do they seem to care? That's the big question. But no, just below expectation.
Yeah, definitely. There's been one massive change this season from the last few seasons. That's obviously, as you can see behind me, there's no fans at all here today. But do you think that's made a difference at all, both home and away for Bristol City this season?
It's the same for every team. So I think Ashton Gate, in terms of a championship atmospheres, I wouldn't say it's particularly in the top third or top quarter. So it's the same for every team. I think at the minute, judging off social media, Twitter, what the fans are saying, if there were fans in it, probably would be toxic at times. I think there'd be hot chocolates thrown onto the pitch, that kind of thing. I'd be interested to see how it would go down, but no, it's not been very good. I think the fans, it's the same for every team. So as much as these fans can make a noise, I think it's the players themselves who've got to look themselves in the mirror.
Yeah, definitely. And as you can see to my right, you've got Brentford here today. They're a very good side, pushing for the playoffs. They're already in there, but they'll be pushing to get Premier League. They've fallen short the last few seasons. Do you think with the likes of Ivan Toney, Brentford will quite easily beat Bristol City today? And then how far do you think they'll get in the playoffs?
It'll be a very tough game. I think Brentford last season showed how good they are, beat us 4-0 here. And yeah, the players like Toney going for the goal scoring record. You got Mbemo as well. He's not had a good a year this year as last season, but still a quality Championship player. I think they may have learnt from last year's playoff disappointment, but again, the playoffs were lossy. You wouldn't write off a team like Barnsley in the playoffs. So they're such a lottery. Anyone can go and win them. So I don't know who I'd back at the minute. I think Bournemouth looking strong. Probably would back Bournemouth. They've had almost the best second half of the season since Woodgate's come in. So I can't see City getting anything today. I think Brentford are just a better team, technically, physically. I think they can beat City either by going direct or by just playing off the park. So I can't say anything for City this afternoon, unfortunately.
And just finally, we've seen Brentford put a very, very strong side today, even when they do have the playoffs in just a few weeks' time. Are you surprised by that? And do you think Bristol City will be, you could say, worried about that with Brentford? Obviously, we know they're a very good team coming to Ashton Gate this afternoon.
I think with the playoffs, I think you're best just playing these players, just because Brentford seem to me a very momentum team. If they came here, played a weakened team and drew or lost this game, then you don't know how much of a mental effect that has on them, because in the past they have looked mentally fragile. So I think coming here, winning by a few goals even, just do their confidence the world of good. So that's why I can see Thomas Frank's doing it. It makes sense. Even Toney going for the goal scoring record as well. So, he'd be wanting to play. So I'm not surprised really. I think, yeah, it could be a long afternoon for City.
Do you think Toney will score today?
More than one. I think it'll be more than one.
I'm sure you can hear the music behind me at Ashton Gate. We're getting very, very close to kick-off. Both Bristol City and Brentford have both gone back in the tunnel to make their final preparations ahead of today's game. It'll be interesting to see how Bristol City cope without the likes of Adam Naj, Thomas Canas, Famara Jeju as well, with Daniel Bentley in goal as the captain today. I reckon he'll have a very busy day trying to keep the likes of Ivan Toney quiet, and as he's going for the goal record in the Championship, so I reckon he might get on the score sheet today. So it'll be interesting to see how the Bristol backline and goalkeeper Dan Bentley do cope with that Brentford team today as they try and end their season off on a high going into the playoffs just in a few weeks' time. The players are about to come back out here at Ashton Gate, so I'm going to give you my score picture. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Brentford win. I'm not very confident at all with the likes of Ivan Toney playing for Brentford today. They've gone for a very, very strong lineup, have Brentford, this afternoon. So it'll be very interesting to see how Bristol City do cope with that, but I guess we'll see in just a few moments' time. Come on, you Reds.
This is Ashton Gate. Please welcome this afternoon's teams, Brentford and Bristol City. Alex Scott, 37 Tommy Conway, 42 Hannah Sengo, and 45 Keston Farmer from Bristol City. Starting lineup for today.
So Marcus, it's obviously been a very good season for Brentford. How would you overall rate the Brentford season so far?
It's been another successful season. It's still not over yet. Still got the playoffs to deal with. But you know, for the second consecutive season, we've finished third, a record amount of points. A top scorer with 30 goals. Can he get the 31st? Hopefully, but he's now been booked, so we don't know how long he's going to stay on the pitch for. But other than that, yeah, we should be satisfied with the season. But there's still 2 more important games to go.
You talk about Ivan Toney there. He's obviously got 30 goals and 10 assists this season. Just how good has he been for Brentford this season?
Yeah, he's been extremely good. You know, when you think it's his debut season at this level, he's really just taken to it as if he's played it all his life. He's just more than a goal scorer. He defends well. He defends like he's a centre half as well. So that's a pleasing aspect to go with his sort of work rate and teamwork.
And then finally, you've obviously got 45 more minutes here at Ashton Gate today, and then going into the playoffs. How confident are you as a Brentford ambassador going into the playoffs?
We've just got to be quietly confident. You know, we've had the heartbreak of last year, missing out in the final, so we've got those sort of memories to kind of rectify, but use as a catalyst of positivity as well. So yeah, look, anyone can go through at that stage. We've just got to make sure we go into it in a healthy way, get players fit and on form, and give it a good go.
Thank you. So I'm now joined by Gregor from Bristol. Gregor, you've obviously been at all the Bristol games this season. It's been a tough season for Bristol, both on and off. How would you rate Bristol this season so far?
I'd probably have to say that it's been borderline disastrous, because if you think at the beginning of the season the club said they wanted to compete for the top 6, it was all about, the talk was about being in the mix for promotion, and really taking on the likes of Brentford, who we've got here today, and matching that team and trying to be in that top 6 in the playoffs, and they've failed miserably on that count. I do accept that there are reasons for that. Obviously the injury coming in the biggest test, and obviously we've seen a change of manager as well, so yeah, I don't think you can say it's been too successful.
And as you said though, we've had a lot of injury issues, and I think another main reason is obviously the fans. There's no fans here today, it hasn't been this season. Do you think that's played a part at all this season?
Yeah, I do. I think we've seen that across football. We've seen away teams getting better results. I think Bristol City probably would have got a few more points on the board in their games at Ashton Gate if they'd had the crowd cheering them on, the likes of Section 82, etc. So yeah, maybe next season that'll make a bit of a difference.
Definitely, and going into the summer, we've seen a lot of fans on Twitter and Instagram saying it's going to be a very important summer for Bristol City, with the transfer window and behind the scenes as well. How important do you see this summer for Bristol City?
Absolutely crucial. I think it's going to be very tough for Nigel Pearson, so if he gets things moving as perfectly as he wants them to turn it all around and get consistent results. But we need to see better next season, otherwise, let's be honest, it's going to be a relegation battle. So yeah, big work to do in the transfer market. Let's see who he brings in, who he lets go, and what the team is come August time.
And then finally today, we've just seen Bristol come back out onto the field for this second half, and it's been a pretty good game so far, hasn't it? How do you see this one going then, with Brentford obviously looking to end up on a high going into the playoffs, and Bristol City going into their massive summer and pre-season?
I think Bristol City, this has been one of their best performances of the sort of last 10 games I've seen. They're well in this game at the moment, they've had a few chances. Maybe Brentford have looked possibly a little bit more dangerous. I do think Brentford have got possibly another gear to step up here, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do net a goal in the second half. Can Bristol City hang in there, maybe nick the draw, then probably make some changes later on in the game, and they haven't really finished games well recently, so unfortunately I do think they've got a long way to get a result here today. We'll see how they go.
And then just one more thing for Brentford, obviously, who have just come out to the field now, so I'll let you go back to see in a minute. But how do you see them going into the playoffs? Do you think they'll be able to get over last season and get into the Premier League?
I do. I was speaking to someone from Brentford the other day actually, and I was saying that because of their experiences last season, I think they'll be stronger for that. I know they've been in the playoffs a fair few times, haven't been able to cross the line. I just think this might be their
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for being. So second half just kicked off here at Ashton Gate. There's been one change for Brentford, with Sorensen coming on for Ethan Pinnock for Brentford. And it in the first half was a pretty even game, but after a few missed chances for Brentford, they definitely did step up again in the last 5-10 minutes or so in that second half. But Bristol City, as Gregor just said, are still very much in this game. Will look to definitely end off their season on a high here at Ashton Gate this afternoon.
Going for Brentford, scored by number 17, Melbourne Tony.
That's 31 goals then this season for Ivan Toney. Poor defending from Bristol City after the ball bouncing around in the penalty area before Ivan Toney just gets on the end of it, runs around Bentley and puts it in the net to make it 31 goals for him in 45 games. We're about 60 minutes in to this game at Ashton Gate, and that's Brentford 1, Bristol City 0.
What number was it, Mark? Was it 19, I think? Yeah, it's a sub.
Brian Mbeumo's made it 2-0 to Brentford here at Ashton Gate. Brentford have been outstanding in this second half. Bristol City haven't had a shot on target, a chance at all in this second half, still being Brentford. And it definitely showed with that goal, the passing moving to get into the box before Mbeumo just slots it past Daniel Bentley. Since he's came on, he has had a good few chances, and obviously bringing on after Ivan Toney scored his first of the day. But he's been taken off now. Mbeumo came on about 10 minutes later. He does score today, and it's been definitely an outstanding performance from Brentford in the second half, and I think any chance of Bristol City getting back into this game has been flung out the window by Brentford's attacking instincts in this second half. A good news for Bristol City though, Louis Britton came on for the Reds in this second half, making his Bristol City debut, which is brilliant for him and the club. But it's 10 minutes to go now here at Ashton Gate, and it's Brentford 2, Bristol City 0. Bristol City have been truly outplayed in the second half at Ashton Gate. A very young Bristol City side outclassed by Brentford, and we saw it again there with Brentford scoring a third later on here. We've got about just 5 minutes after their second. They've made it 3-0, and they're back on the attack now, as you can see. I believe it was Sergi Canos with the goal for Brentford, with a pass and a movement that they were practicing before the game as well, while they were warming up, and they've had 2 goals because of that. But they have been truly brilliant in this second half. Brentford, Bristol City, I don't even have touched the ball since that second goal. Bristol City have scored as Louis Britton with his first professional goal in his first professional game here at Ashton Gate. He came on no less than 20 minutes ago and he's already scored. He's carrying on that brilliant form from the under-23s, scoring in pretty much every game, and he's carried that on to the first team here at Ashton Gate. So that makes it 3-1 to Bristol City. It's maybe too late on to get anything out of the game, but what a start he's had with life as a Bristol City man.
What does that mean to the table then? Sheffield Wednesday today?
It's full time here at Ashton Gate. Bristol City 1, Brentford 3. Brentford absolutely outclassed Bristol City in that second half. Bristol City scoring late on with a goal from youngster Louis Britton, who makes his professional debut here at Ashton Gate this afternoon, and obviously scoring his first ever professional goal for Bristol City as well. In that second half, Brentford absolutely outclassed Bristol City. In the first half, it was a pretty even game. As Gregor said, though, Brentford could have easily stepped up the gears a lot, and they did a bit. Obviously, Ivan Toney scoring the first before he was substituted off, obviously being saved for the playoffs in just a few weeks for Brentford. But another 2 goals for Brentford, which were absolutely brilliant before Louis Britton obviously scored that 1 goal for Bristol City. But it's the end of a disappointing season for Bristol City. Opposite-wise for Brentford, they'll be absolutely delighted to make the playoffs this year. And if they do play like they did in that second half, they'll be a Premier League club playing in the Premier League next season. But that's not the end of it. Let's get down and see the post-match press conference.
I had a good feeling going into the last time. So I also have a good feeling going into this. We know we are full of confidence, full of belief, but we also understand the nature of the fantastic football beast, that everything can happen. You know, it's one wrong decision, one deflected shot, one wrong ref decision, and that can flip the game.
Just look at the players on the pitch again. We've got under 23 team. Yeah.
And against boys in the way, was it?
I didn't say that. Those are your words. But we had a very inexperienced side out here. But I think for an hour we showed we were in the game. But our shortcomings are there to see. You know, this is a season that we've had far too many players unavailable. Our fitness isn't what it should be, nowhere near. That needs addressing. Just look at the players as well, and they look like a team of athletes. We're a long way from that.
That's it then. The end of the 2020-21 Championship campaign is over. And overall, it has been a disappointing season for Bristol City, I won't lie. Especially as we was second in the league at the start of the season, dropping down to finishing at 19th is very disappointing. But today was just brilliant. I want to thank Bristol City for making it all possible. And before I end the video, just want to say a massive thanks to you guys for watching my videos and supporting my content and supporting me over the last year, and obviously over the last season as well. Thank you all for your support. I can't thank you all enough for that. I'll be back next season. Also, comment down below if you would like me to do some England content over the summer. I'll definitely be up to do some of that if you guys would like. But yeah, thank you for supporting me over the last season, and on to next season. I guess that's all we can say. It's been a disappointing season. Let's just put it behind us. We've got a very important summer ahead. I'll be bringing you all the content over this summer. It's going to be a lot of stuff I expect will be happening over the summer. and then on to next season as well. So thank you all for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. On the road to 600 subscribers, I think we're 10 away from 550. So if you could get there in the next few days, that would be brilliant. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and thank you all for your continued support over the last season. I'll see you guys all on the next one. Come on, you Reds.